Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies, and today we're going to be reviewing My Little Pony, Equestria Girls, Rainbow Rocks, the second installment of the Equestria Girls spin-off series. Right now I'm going to have some information up on screen for you to read, like director, runtime, and PAA rating. All of that will be up on screen for you to read right now. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on Rainbow Rocks. But without further ado, let's get right into the pros. Alright, starting off, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it for you guys. This is the best film that we've gotten out of the entire Equestria Girls franchise. I feel like, in my personal opinion, this is honestly the best film that we've gotten of the Equestria Girls series, and that might be the same for a lot of you out there. There are so many things that I have really enjoyed in this movie. I mean, for one, I really dig the villains of the film, the Dazzlings. Because not only do I think the Dazzlings are the best villains that we've gotten of the Equestria Girls series, they might be just some of my favorite villains that we've gotten of the entire MLP G4 franchise. I just loved how these characters were evil for the sake of being evil. They had no, past that made them the way they are. They just hey, we're gonna be bad just for the fun of it. Also liked how they were kinda subtle on trying to get the magic of friendship that the Rainbooms have. But out of the three Dazzlings that we get in this movie, my favorite has to be Sonata. I don't know why, but I just feel like that Sonata is the best Dazzling out of the three. But yeah, overall, the Dazzlings were just great antagonists for this film and the entire Equestria Girls franchise in general, which is why I was so happy that they made a return in one of the Equestria Girls specials. Just like with the previous film in this franchise, this movie is an hour and 13 minutes long, and I liked how this was a rather short film, but yet again, I feel like that it is paced very well, just like with the previous film. And again, like the previous movie, the animation in here is really good. I again have to praise how this looks exactly like it was actually part of the Friendship is Magic series, only except the characters are humans instead of horses. I just really like the animation that they went ahead and presented in this movie. I also really liked how they went ahead and expanded some lore in this movie, because for the Dazzlings, they're essentially villains that have been around for thousands of years in Equestria and were defeated by Starswirl the Bearded, which made me so surprised that the Dazzlings made a small cameo in the season 7 finale of Friendship is Magic. Because I watched this movie and I understood that callback and reference to this movie. And I also loved how they figured out a way for Twilight to enter this human world without having to wait a full 30 moons for that portal to reopen. It's that kind of world building that just makes this Equestria world and G4 of MLP so great and enjoyable to watch. And don't even get me started with the soundtrack for this movie, because if you thought the soundtrack for the first movie was amazing, this soundtrack for Rainbow Rocks is on a whole nother level, because I honestly think that this Rainbow Rocks soundtrack has gotta be the best soundtrack that we've gotten out of the entire MLP franchise. Not just for G4, but the entirety of the franchise in general. Every single song in this soundtrack is a banger on its own level. I mean, for one, the Dazzling songs, they are absolutely the peak songs of this entire soundtrack. Let's Have a Battle with the Bands and Under Our Spell, they go absolutely so hard. And the Rainbooms also have a lot of good songs in this soundtrack. For me, my favorite of the Rainbooms has to be Shine Like Rainbows, the end credits song. I don't know why, but that song is just so good, and it's just that good of a song to have on loop. But of course, I gotta talk about Welcome to the Show, which is this song that plays during the quote-unquote final battle of the movie, and it is essentially a duet between the Rainbooms and the Dazzlings, and it absolutely goes so hard. Like, both the Dazzlings and Rainbooms both have their moments in the song. And don't even get me started when Sunset Shimmer gets involved in the song, and it's the reason why the Rainbooms ultimately win against the Dazzlings. Like, they did not have to go that hard with the songs, but they did, and this will go down as one of the greatest albums we have ever gotten. Not even kidding, at least for my opinion. But lastly, my biggest praise for this movie has to go to the character of Sunset Shimmer, and in particular, her redemption arc, because this is essentially the film where Sunset Shimmer becomes a good guy instead of a villain, in which I delve deep into that in a solo video dedicated to the character of Sunset Shimmer, in which if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and check that video out. But I honestly do think that Sunset Shimmer has an amazing redemption arc, and is honestly the best redemption arc that we've seen out of the entire MLP franchise in terms of its villains. And that mainly has to do with how they managed to tell this redemption story, in which I feel like that they told that story very well. Again, I went more in depth in a whole different video, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it here, but I felt like that redemption arc was handled so well in the movie. But honestly, overall, this movie is so good that I definitely recommend that you guys go ahead and watch this movie. Like, it's just so good and might honestly be the best piece of MLP content that we've gotten out of the 4th generation of the franchise. So for my scorecard, I'm gonna give My Little Pony Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks 5 stars, with the score out of 10 being 10 out of 10, with the percentage being 100%, with a grade of A+, with my final verdict being the best Equestria Girls movie. But that was my review on My Little Pony Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks. I want to hear from you guys. What are your guys' thoughts on this movie? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments section, and while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video, and have a great day.